ArsenalFanTV, time to take a look at the game that's coming up. Arsenal away at Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium. It's been back-to-back wins for Arsenal after those two horrible away defeats at Everton and also at Man City. And we return on the road. Our two home games, West Brom, Palace. Games are on paper. Everybody said we should win, and we have. We've beaten both of those teams. Now we have faced another game that most people look on it and say, right, Arsenal should get a win at this game, and that's Bournemouth away. We've got a great record against Bournemouth. We've never been beaten by them. But it's going to be tough. Bournemouth are a good team. Bournemouth are on a high. They just beat Swansea. Excellent 3-0 victory away from home. And they are a good team. Jack Wilshere run the show in that game. Of course, Wilshere would not be available, and I'm kind of really happy about that because he's been playing really, really well for Bournemouth. So that'll be a big miss for Bournemouth. They do still have very good players, Stanislas, Benny Kofobi, guys like that. So they will give Arsenal a proper game at the Vitality. And also, let's not forget that fantastic victory that they had over Liverpool at the Vitality. This is why you can't take them lightly. 3-1 down against Liverpool. Liverpool coasting, and they came back to win the game by 4-3. So that shows you the spirit of the team. That shows you that, you know, they've got very good players. And to beat Liverpool, I mean, we didn't beat Liverpool at home. So to beat Liverpool, that shows you that they are a very good team. And as I said, they won their last game out against Swansea. However, let's have it right, they are a beatable team as well. They got beaten in the local derby, South Coast derby, at home against Southampton. They got beaten 3-1. So they are beatable. We beat them at home. That game was a lot closer than what the scoreline suggested, by the way. But we did beat them quite convincingly in the end. And it's going to be a tough game. And it's going to be a game where Arsenal are under a lot of pressure. Every game we play now, we're under lots of pressure because of the nature of the league this year. Number one, Chelsea running away with it. 9 points clear. They'll have their feet up watching that game. If we lose that game and they say go to Tottenham on the Wednesday and they win that game, they'll be 12 points clear of Arsenal. Now, that's unassailable as far as I'm concerned. So it's a must-win game for Arsenal. Even a draw, you know, I suppose in the context of a season, sometimes you could go to a place like Bournemouth, perhaps get a draw, and you could say, decent point. Even a draw is not good enough for Arsenal. The pressure is on Arsenal, Spurs, Liverpool, Man City, all those teams chasing Chelsea just cannot afford to drop points at the moment. All these type of games against teams like Bournemouth, who are 10th in the league, you look at and you say, right, you've got to win it. So lots of pressure on Arsenal for this game. Will they be able to deal with it? Is something that we're going to see. They've dealt with it over the past couple of games. And all the teams around us have been winning as well. And that's been the other thing. So you just cannot afford to drop any points. Now, Arsenal, of course, there will be no Mohamed El Neni because he'll be on his way to the African Cup of Nations. And he had a really good game, actually, in his last game against Crystal Palace. So we'll miss him. Ozil, will he return? He was unwell for the game against Crystal Palace. He didn't play. And you've got to look at it and think to yourself, will he recover in time? If it's like a flu, you know, it's such a short recovery between the two games, you know, and that's another matter. I just can't believe, you know, I know TV and that is very important, but the schedule is ridiculous. The turnaround in 48 hours, I mean, is absolutely ridiculous. But I very much doubt that we'll see Ozil in that game as well. So we'll be missing, you know, two players, one very important one. However, Alex Iwobi did fill in brilliantly for him in the last game. Arsenal, great record against Bournemouth. As I said, we've never been beaten by them. We've beaten them in every game we've played them. And as I said, a great opportunity to register 3 points and, you know, be on a winning run. What team, though, should Arsenal play in this game? Now, I've put together a little formation just before the show, and I was having a look at it because you've got to look at it and say, do you start Giroud? You know, or do you go for that dynamic pace up front? Do you start Oxlade-Chamberlain, who when he came on looked brilliant the other day against Crystal Palace? I know the defenders were tiring, but do you start him? What about Welbeck? You know, we've been told by Wenger he's back in full training. Do you throw Welbeck into this? Or maybe not start, but have him in the squad somewhere? Do you start Lucas Perez again? There's a lot of, options there for Arsenal. Ramsey, because you might need to switch it up a bit because, as I said, the team have just had a game and then 48 hours later, you've got another game. And this is where I think the scheduling is unfair because Bournemouth, they played the day before, so they've had a longer rest. But anyway, this is my team to play against Bournemouth, and I want you to leave your team in the comments below afterwards. Petr Cech in goal, Bellerin, Mustafi. I know Gabriel's done all right. We've kept clean sheets in the past couple of games, but for me, Mustafi's fit now, getting back in the team. That combination with him and Koscielny was working brilliantly. I know it seems a bit harsh, but for me, Mustafi's your main man. He's got to get back in the team. So Mustafi, Koscielny and Monreal. Coquelin and Xhaka, the two sort of holding guys sitting in front of them. It is an away game, so I think, we can have that. I'd have Iwobi playing in that position that he played so brilliantly against Crystal Palace, the Ozil position. Iwobi in there, not Ramsey. I'd have Iwobi in there. I liked his quick, dynamic movement in the middle of the park. I think that's going to be really important. He also showed a lot of strength there as well. I think that's going to be really important because in the middle of the park, Bournemouth are very good as well. And then out on the wings, I'd have Oxlade-Chamberlain out on the right wing. As I said, he was brilliant when he came on. Giroud down the middle, and Alexis on the other side, on the left-hand side. Now, if Ozil had been fit, I think I would have gone with a front three of Iwobi, Alexis down the middle, and Oxlade-Chamberlain, and dropped Giroud. And I know you're going to say to yourself, what are you talking about? He scored that great goal. But I just think I love the pace and movement of that fast front three. I think DT said it in one of his videos yesterday, and I kind of agree with him. That, for me, when Alexis is playing down the middle, teams find it really hard to live with that. But the fact that Ozil's out, I want to have Iwobi in that number 10 position, not Ramsey, and Giroud down the middle. I think get crosses into the box. We can hurt their defence. So that's my team. What do you think? Leave your team below. I think we will get a win in this game. I'm going to go for a couple of goals, 2-0 to Arsenal. I think it's going to be one of those games that's going to be start off difficult, but once we grow into the game, I think, we've got a lot of confidence now taking into these games. Ride out the early pressure. I think we'll get a lot of joy in this game. So I'll go for Arsenal winning this by 2-0. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. But it's Bournemouth versus Arsenal at the Vitality Stadium. Really looking forward to it. Don't forget to subscribe here to ArsenalFanTV. And don't forget to check out our shop at the moment. We've got our January sale going on. If you want to get some items, jump all over that. Thanks for watching.